Welcome to Between the Shelves, the premier Save-O Library podcast. I am your host, Alex, and this week we are talking summer blockbusters. So I brought in the perfect guest, Sean, down from Tech Services. Hey, Sean.
What's going on, Alex?
Nice to have you back.
Thanks, man.
So Sean is a regular on our Oscar episodes, our Oscar review crew, and so he's the perfect person to talk about movies. And even though we have very different tastes in movies, I think we're going to be... I'm really interested to see where this conversation goes because we're focusing on summer blockbuster movies for this episode. We have a little bit of a game we're going to be playing in a little bit, but I'm curious to see what your favorite summer blockbuster movies are and to see if we have any crossovers.
I'm more curious to see what you got.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get into it. So of course, you know, we can't just talk movies. I have facts and trivia and things we need to get into first. So, summer blockbuster, where did the term blockbuster come from? You may be wondering.
Sure.
So it all started in the early 1940s with World War II, like many things. American newspapers started dropping this new term, blockbuster, referring to massive aerial munitions capable of leveling an entire city block. They were called blockbuster bombs. Hollywood quickly saw the explosive potential of the word, and by May 1943, movie ads were using blockbuster to describe films with big impact. So Variety and the Motion Picture Herald declared the RKO film Bombardier the blockbuster of all action thrill service shows. And another ad the following year bragged that the war documentary With Marines at Tarawa? Yeah, nailed it. Hits the heart like a 2-ton blockbuster. So by the early 1950s, the term had already become standardized within the film industry and the trade press to denote a film that was large in spectacle, scale, and cost, that was expected to go on to achieve a high gross in the box office. So that is where the term that is where the term blockbuster came from. So we're focusing on summer blockbusters. So I don't know what you set the parameters were, but I was basically trying to find movies between May and August. That's kind of...
See, I feel it's Memorial Day, onward and the begin and maybe middle of August, because I feel like say for instance this year, The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling came out the beginning of May, and the box office projections were a lot higher than what it actually grossed, because I feel like they're labeling it as this massive summer hit, but I'm it's May 5th. It's not really the summertime yet. No one's no one's off from school. No one's taking off from work. So I feel it's kind of Memorial Day. I feel that's the kind of kickoff to summer for me.
I feel a lot of the blockbusters come out in June. Is when the biggest month. But if a studio is I guess if they don't think the movie is going to be as big as the movies that are coming out in June, they might try to get in early to try to avoid
Marvel will do that a lot.
Getting steamrolled by Barbie or something. Yeah. Or they might think it's going to be a huge hit, and they'll come out in May expecting it to just be carried all the way through the summer, with rewatches and things.
And that movie was great, too, and I was kind of surprised that it didn't do well. But now it's online to watch.
The Fall Guy?
Yeah, it was in theaters for 2 weeks, and they already put it out online to be rented.
I think they've worked out those deals ahead of time.
Yeah, but again, I feel if that were to come out, say, Memorial Day weekend or, sometime in June, that would have been a massive hit.
Yeah, I don't know. This year in particular has been pretty bad in terms of box office gross for the summer.
It has been.
Up until just this week, I believe, at the time we're recording this at least, Inside Out 2 has become the biggest grossing film of the summer. But until then, it was still Dune, which came out
back in March.
Yeah,
well, that Dune's iconic.
Yeah. So the Fall Guy, what else? Garfield,
The Bike Riders, and then A Quiet Place 2 comes out this Friday.
And Mad Max. That was the one I was thinking.
Oh
of.
yeah, Mad Max
Furiosa.
Tanked, right?
Yeah. Well, it didn't tank. It just didn't
live up to the projections.
Yeah. And we'll see if it makes its money back.
Yeah, seriously, because that must have cost a lot of money to make.
So it's 2024 doesn't seem to be shaping up to be a great summer blockbuster year, but in this episode, we're going to be talking about some summer blockbuster recommendations for you. And to start off the episode, well, the first segment that we're going to be getting into is we're going to be doing a draft, a summer blockbuster draft. So how does that work? Well, I'll refresh your mind too, Sean, because I know you might have still questions at this point.
This took a while.
So we're going to take turns drafting summer blockbuster movies, and we're going to be making a roster of our 5 best summer blockbusters to round out what would be an iconic summer blockbuster year.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can pick movies from any year we want, it just has to be a blockbuster that came out in the summer.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Sure.
Okay. So before, I guess we can get into that right now, but I do have some trivia if you're interested.
Is this the game you promised me?
Yeah. Should we save the trivia for the end, or do you want to ease into the trivia, or into our game with some trivia?
Let's do the game at the end.
Okay.
Why not?
It's just trivia. It's not
okay.
Nothing
It's not a game then.
Maybe I'll bring them up if I find it
Sweet.
appropriate.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's get into our game. So I'll talk about my strategy for picking my movies first.
Okay.
So I've broken down summer blockbusters into 5 categories. The action epic, that's probably the most common category of summer blockbusters. These are big budget movies with big sets, big spectacles. So we're talking Independence Day, we're talking The Avengers, stuff like that. The next category I have is comedy. These are usually movies that like strike a chord with culture at the time. Like they somehow just like tap into like the zeitgeist of America. They have massive viewership and generally targeted for older audiences. So I'm thinking kind of like The Hangover, Bridesmaids, those sort of movies. Next category are family films. So these are things you can take the kids to. All your Disney movies. They are Pixar movies, E.T., that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Next category I have are date night movies. Pretty self-explanatory there. Pretty Women, Big Fat Greek Wedding, any of those rom-com sort of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last category I have are horror movies. So these have become less and less a staple of the blockbuster season. There's usually 1 or 2 that come out every summer, but in terms of being like on those top spots, top grossing films, it's sort of been trending downward, being replaced by more of the action, big, 4-quadrant movies, and we'll talk about what that means in a second.
4-quadrant.
Yeah. See, I know some terminology.
You do. Wow.
So the horror films, Sixth Sense, those sort of things.
Yeah.
So that's how that's my strategy. So I tried to pick out one film from each of those categories to try to make a well-rounded summer of
cool.
blockbusters.
Me too.
That's kind of, you did that as well?
Yes, I did.
All right, perfect. This is going to work great then.
Yeah.
All right, so what category do you want to start with? Guess choice.
Ooh, let's do comedy.
Comedy.
I don't know why I just said it like that.
Comedy. All right, perfect.
Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? I'm kind of curious. No.
You want me to go first?
I'm curious to see what you picked.
So this was a tough category for me. This might have been the hardest category. I don't know why. It was just hard for me to like. I guess there aren't as many comedy movies as that you consider blockbusters.
Yeah.
Like movies that gross like hundreds of millions of dollars and that everyone's seeing. But when it finally dawned on me, this one really clicked, and I'm happy to announce it. So my first pick in the summer blockbuster draft is There's Something About Mary from July 15th, 1998.
Great movie.
Starring Ben Stiller, Cameron Diaz, Matt Dillon, and written and directed by the Farley brothers. It grossed $369 million on a $25 million budget.
Jesus.
So if that doesn't check off this blockbuster part of the summer hit, I don't know what does. So if you aren't familiar with There's Something About Mary, here's a brief plot summary. Ted, a nerdy teenager, gets a chance to take his dream girl Mary to the prom, but a disastrous accident ruins the night. Years later, still obsessed, Ted hires a private investigator to find Mary. However, the investigator falls for her himself and throws a web of hilarious lies to keep them apart, leading Ted on a wild journey to win Mary's heart. That's
Classic.
Very sugar-coated PG summary of the film. So why did I pick this one? So I tried to pick a comedy that has some iconic moments that that kind of like does the marketing for the movie itself. Like everyone was talking about 2 very famous scenes come to mind that I don't want to spoil here if you haven't seen it somehow. But I think like if you see this movie, it's a charming movie. I mean, it's hilarious. And like these scenes, like you just have to talk about them with somebody.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like, this is back in the 90s, before the internet was what it is now, social media and everything. But like this is just a word of mouth, I feel, kind of just movie that just spread virally, person to person. And it's just a hilarious movie. So the Farley brothers, they were coming off of their previous successes of Dumb and Dumber and Kingpin. And then this movie, I really feel like shot them into like the stratosphere of like, maybe not like top tier directors, but like in terms of like comedy directors, like they were getting huge budget for this movie, and they would get them from then on out for the rest of their careers. So yeah, it's just such an iconic
They had
movie.
an incredible cast too.
An incredible cast. This is just scratching the surface, but Ben Stiller, Cameron Diaz, and Matt Dillon. I mean, they're comedy gold right there.
Oh yeah.
So this movie has a special place in my heart because the Farley brothers are from Rhode Island, and I am from Rhode Island, and I feel like living in Rhode Island at the time that the Farley brothers were rising in stardom, like I kind of had like I was kind of rooting for them, like they were like the underdogs, like from the hometown, and we were like really rooting for them to go. And it was comedy. I loved comedy when I was younger too, so they were like perfect for me. And my parents even let me see this movie like at a way too young age.
How old were you?
98. I was 9 years old. I didn't see it in theaters, but I definitely saw it like right when it got released. We checked it out from Blockbuster like immediately.
Nice.
So I was way too young to see this movie, but most of the jokes went way over my head. But like just the fact that it was like,
these huge stars
from Cumberland, we're making this big comedy movie with Ben Stiller. It was just like perfect. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that's my story.
That's a solid pick. That's one of my dad's like all-time favorite movies. I saw that too when I was young, probably like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And like you, most jokes went right over my head.
Yep.
But watching it back like recently, it's comedy gold.
Yeah, I gotta put it back on.
And like each time you watch it, there's another joke that you catch, and you're laughing at that the entire time.
Absolutely.
It's great. So good.
So that's my comedy pick.
All right. My comedy pick is Barbie. I don't know if that's surprising to you. Probably not.
Never heard of it.
Really? Oh my goodness. Barbie. I don't know. I picked Barbie because for me it was between this and Family Film. I was kind of thinking of like the same movies because it's kind of like a crossover genre.
Yeah.
In a sense,
if I whittled this down to 4 categories, I probably would have combined the comedy and family.
But I feel like Barbie. First of all, it's just because it came out during the summer, obviously, and it was like the big buzzworthy movie, really of the whole year last year, but especially of the summer. And a lot of the movie, like it takes place in Barbie Land, and then takes place in the U.S. in California. They're on the beach for like half the movie, even though it's a fake beach. It just like it hits for me like all those like summer checklists, like things that you would say want to do during your time off.
Totally.
They kind of like achieve it throughout the movie. And like
and the Barbie world is like a perpetual summer party.
Exactly. And like everyone looks perfect, and they're dancing and they're having fun, and Ken's job is like just beach. Like it's literally not anything else. It's not lifeguarding, it's not cleaning up the beach, it's just to beach.
Yeah. And
I feel like it's just like everyone can relate to like wanting to live that kind of a life. So I feel like it was just like really timely, and I feel like that because it was like it had the comedy aspect, but then it had the dramatic aspect as well, like you said earlier, like kind of like tapping into the zeitgeist, right? Is that the word you said?
That's the word I used. Yeah.
Like, I don't
know if I'm using it right.
I've never heard of it before, so I'm just gonna say you are. Kind of like tapping into that of like the current time, and like definitely women's rights, and such like a timely issue right now. So I feel like having that mixed in with comedy, it just blended together so well. That was like the first movie that came to my mind, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like how many summer blockbuster movies are also not only like the movie of the year, like like Barbie defined that last year.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Oppenheimer won most of the awards, but Barbie is like the movie that everyone will remember from that year.
And I truly don't know anybody that hasn't watched it.
No.
And honestly, I don't know anyone that didn't really like it either. Like, and it was a lot funnier than I expected it to be. I expected it to be corny, which I mean at times it is, but that's kind of the point. Like, it's kind of meant to be like camp, but then there are also moments in it where it's genuinely a funny movie and you're rooting for the characters.
Totally. It's a great summer blockbuster pick, Sean, because it's a movie that everyone will go and see and enjoy.
Oh yeah. I mean,
unless you're an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, I saw it in the movie theaters like twice, and I mean, each time, I mean, the people coming in all pink. Like, it felt like it was like bigger than a movie because it was like a whole cultural event.
Right.
And people were, I mean, I saw like guys coming in like pink suits and like the full thing. I mean, you know, girls coming in wearing pink hats and these long pink gowns, and it was just like this crazy time.
Do you want to guess what its worldwide gross was?
I think I know. It's like a little bit over $1 billion.
It's a lot over $1 billion. 1.445.
Wow, good for them. Who would have thought that a movie about Barbie would have profited that much? Or not profited, but grossed that much.
It tapped into something that the world was ready for.
I don't think they thought that it was going to be as big of a hit as it was.
No movie is as big as that.
How could Margot Robbie tried for years to get that thing made, and like nobody wanted it. And then finally, I think it was Warner Brothers, right? I think they were the production company. And Warner Brothers was like willing to take a bet, and that saved them like tremendously. Yeah, so that was my comedy pick. One of the best movies. Thank you.
Sorry, I was trying to look it up. But okay. So I guess I'll pick the next category if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Let's just go right into the family pick since that kind of goes along with the comedy. So for my choice, I'll just go first if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Disney, Pixar, those are the first ones that come to mind for me. I didn't want to pick a Disney or Pixar movie because they get enough attention. I wanted to do one that, you might not have, wouldn't necessarily be your first thought. So I chose from 2001 the movie Shrek.
Oh, okay.
It's not a hidden gem or anything. I'm not trying to paint Shrek as like a hidden gem, but it was a huge, huge hit. Yeah. So starring Michael Myers, Eddie Murphy, John Lithgow, Cameron Diaz, the list goes on and on and on. Star-studded cast. It grossed $484 million. It was one of the biggest hits in a year that was already stacked with popular movies.
Wow.
So if you aren't familiar with Shrek, the plot is a grumpy ogre's swamp gets overrun by fairy tale creatures banished by a short-tempered lord. To reclaim his peace, the ogre must make a deal. Rescue a princess from a dragon for the lord in exchange for getting the creatures out of his swamp. Along the way, he's joined by a donkey who becomes his unlikely companion on this wacky adventure. This is just a perfect summer blockbuster movie for the family because, it's a very simple story. The kids will enjoy. It's got the goofy donkey. Mm-hmm. Michael Myers as the ogre is hilarious, is very funny. He's a grumpy kid. The young kids will probably love him.
Yeah.
But it also has tons of jokes for the parents in there as well that would go right over the kids' heads. Great cast. Probably more. The parents would appreciate John Lithgow more than the kids, but he's a hilarious character for the villain. Casting him as the short little lord guy, Farquaad. So Shrek. It was just such a huge, huge blockbuster. Spawned a franchise. I don't know how many Shrek movies there are now.
They just announced the fifth one is going to be out next year.
Yeah, and spin-offs with the Puss in Boots movies and everything.
Grossed so much money also.
Yeah, exactly. I could have picked any movie from this franchise and it would have been a summer blockbuster. But I wanted to pick the first because it's my favorite. I remember seeing it in the theaters. It was awesome.
Yeah, I haven't watched Shrek in years. But the memes that surround that movie now, it's such a timeless, it really is just so timeless.
Right.
Because there's just so many memes about it that kids see now, and then they want to go back and they want to watch the movie. And as you grow up with it and you watch it, like you said, you just get more and more jokes about it.
Yeah.
And you also can relate to their love, because it's that timeless tale of he wants her, but he looks like him, and she looks, it's just perfect.
And I think it came out at the exact right time because we had just we were reaching the end of the Disney Renaissance with Little Mermaid, Lion King, Aladdin, Mulan, all these movies, Tarzan, and then just as Disney's ending that whole run, Shrek comes in and is very self-referential, very
like not too juvenile,
sarcastic.
Yeah,
like it was kind of like taking like all the classic Disney stuff and just spinning it on its head, which I think kids were ready for, adults were definitely ready for, and it just struck a chord. And it is what history's. Has told the tale.
I mean, it's one of the biggest films I think ever made, and I think my favorite is Shrek 2. I haven't watched them in a really long time, but I think if I remember correctly, is that when she becomes like an ogre also?
I thought she became an ogre at the end of the first one, but maybe I'm conflating them.
You would know more than I haven't watched.
I haven't seen these movies since I was a babysitter back in the day.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, my son's not quite old enough to put on Shrek, but
yeah, I was one when Shrek 1 came out. Right? It came out what?
2001.
Yeah, I was one. And then, but Shrek 2 I definitely saw in the movies.
Yeah.
I think I was probably 4, 5, depending on what year it was out. But that movie, like I was raised on that. Shrek 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Shrek, that's my pick.
Solid. I did not expect that from you at
all.
all.
You think of me as a movie snob, but I've
also
seen
think
everything.
Of yourself as a film snob.
I do admit being a film snob, but like this summer blockbusters is like our overlap.
It's like a guilty pleasure. Like you can kind of, because like it doesn't have to be this like critically acclaimed
I like
movie.
what I like, but I also see everything.
That is actually really true. You do watch like practically everything.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just gonna say, oh well, that's crap because I know I wouldn't like it.
Right.
Like that's me. I would be like, I'm not gonna watch that because I already know I'm
like
not.
Every
I'm
year
not
there's movies that come out that I think I'm gonna hate that I love, movies that I think I'm gonna love that I don't like. So you gotta watch everything.
Good for you.
All right, what's your family pick?
My family pick is Grown Ups. Have you
All right.
seen
Still haven't seen it. I know you.
Adam Sandler, man.
I know.
It's Adam Sandler, Chris Rock, Kevin James, Rob Schneider, David Spade, Selma Hayek, Maya Rudolph, Maria Bello.
Great
Classic.
cast.
I'm so shocked that you've never
What
seen
year did
this.
it come out?
2010.
Oh yeah. I was in college. I wasn't watching Grown Ups.
Okay, well it's talk about a movie made for everyone, like every age. So it's basically Adam Sandler's character is a really rich movie producer, and his kids are like totally like spoiled, like rich snobby kids, and the five friends played on a basketball team when they were kids, and their coach died like in the present day. So they go to the coach's funeral, and then they all spend a weekend away at this cabin, I think around the 4th of July. Like this cabin that they spend like every summer in as kids. So it's kind of just like 5 grown men just like reverting back to being a kid again, like with their kids. And it's about like the kids that are like really spoiled and everything, like trying to show them that there's more to life than like playing a video game or being on your phone or whatever, and just like kind of like enjoying nature and like enjoying the world. But it's so funny because it leans into what every comedian, like what their strong suit is, and it just goes with it. And it kind of feels like it's just like 5 friends who at this point are just so successful and have so much money, and they were like, why don't we just make a movie together and just like have fun with it and just roll with it. It's actually one of the lowest rated movies I think like ever on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's at like a 9. So when it came out I think like in the end of June in 2010. I never saw it because I'm like, wow, this thing got a 9. It's probably awful. And I just watched it again last month for probably like the 10th time. Every single time you will be eyes watering laughing. It's hilarious. It's just like they have like this. There's this whole sequence where they go to this water park that they like went to as kids, and again, it's just like so summery because like it captures like all the craziness that you see when you go to like not like a public water park, but all the different characters that you see, and all the crazy parents and the crazy kids and the adults that go there without any kids, and you're like, it's a little strange. Like it just leans into it so much. And it makes it so relatable, but it just makes you just crack up. Like I think Rob Schneider is the funniest one out of the movie because he plays such a weirdo and he really like leans into it, and just like all of the different interactions between the characters for me just like makes it. I'm really surprised you've never seen this. Wow.
I'll watch it.
I really feel like you would.
I love Chris Rock. I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Chris Rock in it. Like he plays like this like home wife. Like he's married to Maya Rudolph's character, and like she goes to work every day, and like she's the one making all of the money, and he's like obsessed with Rachel Ray, and she comes home and he's trying to make this, this crazy meal, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Like kind of like it flips the gender roles.
Yeah.
And like Kevin James is like down on his luck, but he wants to show his friends that he's rich and like he's doing well, but like he's not at all. So it's just like all these kind of like all these fallacies that they all build up because they've been friends for so long that they don't want them to think like less of them. So it kind of like in that aspect, like it's sweet too, because I feel like you could see that happening, like growing up with these people and like still wanting them to think that you're like this big hot shot, So that is my pick for family film, because it's definitely good for little kids, because there's a lot of like slapstick humor that the kids would laugh at, and then there are a lot of adult jokes that like would go right over the kid's head. I mean, I'm
PG-13.
Yeah, I'm sure it went over. There's really not that much cursing in it. I think it's just more like situational comedy.
Yeah.
That like sometimes it can be like a little suggestive. But like a lot of stuff I'm sure went over my head as a kid, but watching it back now, it just kills me.
You can't beat a water park for the summer theme.
Exactly. It's so summery. It's great.
271 at the box office.
How much did it cost to make? So you came in with like all these stats, and I'm just like,
I'm using the website Box Office Mojo, which has
classic.
Immaculate stats.
Immaculate, really.
It's run by IMDb, so they're legitimate.
So they got everything on lock.
I don't know, but it made $271 million. This movie, if I had to guess, most of the budget for this movie went to casting these 5 A-list celebrities.
Yeah, no, for sure, because like they were kind of just like at the cabin the whole time.
Well, they rent a water park for a week.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're all super rich anyway. So
yeah. All right, great pick.
Cool, thanks, man.
All right, let's move things right along. What category would you like to do next?
Let's do date night, kind of continuing in like this lightheartedness.
All right.
Fun.
Do you want to go first, or?
No, you can go first since I just rambled on.
So for my pick for date night blockbuster, I chose, drumroll, When Harry Met Sally, July 21st, 1989. What a year. Starring Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal, directed by Rob Reiner and written by Nora Ephron, the great Nora Ephron. This movie grossed $92.8 million in the box office, which is nothing to sneeze at for a rom-com.
Especially
in 1989.
Yeah.
That's, let me just do the math here. That's a lot of money in today's dollars. So the plot of When Harry Met Sally follows Harry and Sally, who are two opinionated college graduates, across 12 years of chance encounters in New York City. They constantly clash, particularly over whether men and women can truly be close friends. As they navigate their own failed relationships and personal growth, their connection deepens, forcing them to reevaluate their beliefs about love and friendship. This movie is the quintessential rom-com. Billy Crystal is at his peak in this movie. Meg Ryan is charming. This movie has so many memorable situations and quotes. I'll have what she's having is one of the probably most quoted lines in any movie ever. It's probably up there with I Am Your Father.
Yeah.
Star Wars, if you really are out of it. It also has great romantic lines in it, like when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible. Come on, just melting hearts across the country.
Sweet.
This movie is it's just a classic movie. It's if you had to craft your perfect summer movie blockbuster list and you had to pick a rom-com, you can't go wrong with When Harry Met Sally. It's just it's such a people pleaser. It launched the film career of Nora Ephron, who went on to get an Oscar nomination for her screenplay for this movie. Some other considerations I had for this category were Sleepless in Seattle, which is my personal favorite. But I don't think it's like really blockbuster. When you think blockbuster, it's not a...
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that. I want to. But I mean, I've heard of it. I just have never seen it.
You got to see it. And then the other one that came to mind was You've Got Mail, but it was released in December.
And that's also Tom Hanks too, right?
That's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
And then Sleepless in Seattle is Tom Hanks also.
Yes, and Meg Ryan.
Oh, Meg Ryan just like working overtime for all these.
We're in her wheelhouse right here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, it's a movie you have to see. It's
yeah.
I don't care if you're...
I don't really like that movie.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I'm like the only person in the world I feel like that doesn't like it.
Well,
I mean, I watched it when I was in college for one of I think it was for my screenwriting class. And, it's like one of my mom's like favorite movies. So I think it was hyped up to me so much, like throughout like my childhood, like my teenage years. I just never got around to watching it. But then like for this class, I just needed to. I was like watching and I was like, okay, I'm like, this is it. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one in the world. Because like you said, it's universally loved.
I think if you're watching it, it's hard to watch it from like the 2020 perspective for a movie that's written. If in '89, this movie, like nothing was like this movie ever.
Okay.
Like the Nora Ephron's writing is just such a unique voice at the time.
Hadn't been like anything.
The dialogue was just so natural. Like the jokes were so unique and just woven into the dialogue, into the characters. It was just, there wasn't anything like it before.
Okay.
And since this movie coming out, everybody's trying to replicate this movie. Of course. Like every rom-com that's come out since then is trying to be.
Because it's such a smash hit.
Right.
That's the movie where they did the scene in the diner, right? And like that's like the recreated like pose where like it's a diner that's what is it in Boston?
It's like Cat's Deli. It's the whole movie's in most of the movies.
And
in
like
New York
there's
City,
like the booth that you can go and like sit in and like recreate the scene.
I guess so. I think they're just sitting at a regular table, not a booth. But I don't know. I've been to the deli in real life, and nothing has changed. Like it looks like exactly like the set.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's a solid pick because like I don't know anyone aside from myself that doesn't love that movie.
Yeah,
maybe I'll watch it again at some point.
You'll appreciate it someday.
I'll give it a go. Yeah, maybe when I'm like a little bit older. I don't know. I mean, but they're in their 20s too, so it's like
I know, it is absurd that like they look older than.
I was gonna say
look like they're in their 40s.
Billy Crystal, like I mean, he's always looked older than he is, but like in their 20s, like college graduates, like Meg Ryan. I can't picture her, but I feel like even her, she looked older. I mean, I'm sure they were older. That's just like what they always do.
It's just the style, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyways, that's my pick. When Harry Met Sally.
I feel like you're gonna judge me for my pick.
Well, probably.
Yeah, probably. Because I was struggling with this one, and I was working in Cirque with Ethan, and we were like looking up movies. So my pick for date night is Dirty Dancing. Yeah, I was waiting for because all right, I was really struggling. I'm not a big rom-com guy.
Is Dirty Dancing even a rom-com? I haven't seen it, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
Melissa Yes, Meyer, I have. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, of course.
Are you thinking of Flashdance?
I think so.
Yeah. So Melissa Meyer from Cirque has been telling me to watch this movie for months, and I'm like, all right. So I finally watched it, and I have to say, I loved it. Patrick Swayze, and I don't know who the girl is, but that's Baby. Like that's her character's name. And it's just, he's this dance instructor and this dancer at this like really elite like summer resort that Baby and her family that they go to each year, and they vacation there for a while. And she's like comes from this really like white collar, like really well off family, and everyone's very like snooty, and they like expect her to behave a certain way, whereas I think it's her older sister or her younger sister like kind of just does her own thing and like nobody cares, but yet somehow she's like held to this level of like you have to act this way. And then like she kind of begins a relationship with Patrick Swayze's character, and like she learns how to dance because like his female dancing partner like gets injured or something and she can't go on. So it's very like dramatic in the fact that in like 2 weeks she becomes this like professional dancer, and they're doing these like crazy stunts and stuff.
Jennifer Grey is the actor.
Jennifer Grey. Okay, thank you. But it's just like it was so fun, and it was just like it made me want to go there like to that summer camp, or not the camp, but like it made me want to go there and like vacation and watch him on stage dance, and like they're swimming in the lake and they're in the pools and they're like having fun. And it's just like it gives you that feel good like old school summer vibe. That, like,
totally.
I mean, I didn't grow up in the 80s, so it's like I wouldn't know, but like it made me want to go there, and it made me want to be with them. And I feel like, especially in a movie of that time, I feel like that's such a great feeling to get your viewer to have, because it makes them just like, because I feel like everything now is just obviously it's drastically different from then, so it just makes me want to go back there.
Yeah, it's funny how we both picked movies that are very New York. When Harry Met Sally is like New York City kind of thing, but this like going away to like the cabin sort of thing is a very also like New York kind of thing, I feel.
And like everyone there is rich and snooty, but
exactly.
it's like, but you're like I don't care. And I would go away a lot to this place in the Poconos, and it kind of reminds me of like that kind of a vibe.
Totally.
But yeah, no, I mean, Patrick Swayze's acting leaves some to be desired. I mean, I don't know if he's like really known for his acting ability, more so his looks. I mean, his acting, he was kind of fine in it. Like,
R.I.P.
All right. Yeah. R.I.P. a real one. But his dancing, I mean, he must have trained hard for that. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who's the modern Patrick Swayze, because like in all of his roles, he has to like he's kind of like
Keanu Reeves.
I was gonna say Keanu Reeves, yeah, because he's like naturally good looking, and like he's always has to like train his body for something,
and like goes all in. Maybe
like he did like Roadhouse, where he has to like
maybe
get like shredded, and
Christian Bale almost.
Yeah,
like he has to. He like always will change.
Christian Bale would be
appearance.
insulted if he heard this.
Yeah, because he can actually act. Yeah, he's an actor.
But yeah, great pick. Dirty Dancing's a great pick.
Yeah, you should totally.
I was definitely thinking of like striptease at first, or something else.
That's awesome.
Some other or Flashdance or something like that.
Yeah, Flashdance I tried to watch. I could not get through it. That's a downer.
Yeah,
I have to say. I watched the first like 45 minutes of it, and I was like, "Man, this is like depressing as hell." Like, not for me. But
I think we nailed this category. I think I went more towards the commie side of the rom-com spectrum, and this is kind of the more on the romantic
Dirty Dancing's
side.
definitely not. It's more romantic than comedy.
Definitely.
For sure.
Well, these are some fun date nights. Okay, so should we mix things up with horror?
Yeah, let's go there.
Let's go there. So I went with I had a bunch of picks for the horror category.
I was struggling.
I had so many, but the one that I kept coming back to, and I wonder if you picked this one too, because I think it is the most obvious choice. It's Jaws.
Yeah, that I didn't want to be like that obvious, but that was what I was going to do.
Sometimes it's just unavoidable.
Yeah.
Jaws came out on June 20th, 1975, starring Roy Schneider, Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw, and directed by the great Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie that put Spielberg on the map. It grossed $260 million in 75 on a $7 million budget.
I'm going to look and see what that's adjusted for now. For inflation.
So the plot of Jaws, while you're looking that up, Sean, it throws a peaceful summer resort town into chaos when a killer shark attacks beachgoers. Local police chief Martin Brody finds himself at odds with the mayor, who prioritizes tourism over safety and keeps the beaches open. Determined to stop the carnage, Brody teams up with a marine biologist and a seasoned shark hunter for a thrilling hunt that tests their courage and puts them face to face with the ocean's terrifying predator.
Wow. That was a very good summary there,
Thank
Alex. You. Yeah, you got it.
This is the summer blockbuster.
Oh, for
horror.
Sure. Yeah.
And
it still holds up.
It still holds up. I think it just totally like taps into like a primal fear that we have as humans of the ocean, of the unknown, and sharks are the most terrifying creature on the planet.
Really?
I mean, they look like they are monsters.
I would say like snakes. They freak me out more.
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
We'll put it to the listeners. We'll put a poll up. So another thing about this movie, in 2024, Jaws seems very quaint, but for 75, it is terrifying.
It's really not. Like it was re-released in IMAX for, I don't know, maybe like the 35th anniversary or something like that, like 1 or 2 years ago. And I went and I saw it in the summer, and I was like, God damn, like this is how you make a movie.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that I don't love.
It's just good filmmaking what it is. Because it's all tension. Like there's like one jump scare, which is enough for a whole movie. And
there's like no gore either. So like you can get
for 75 there was a lot of gore. But for like a modern movie, it's pretty tame. But it's just tension. They just build tension the whole time.
The music in that movie, I think, is just
John Williams did the score.
Again, the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
Most Oscar-nominated person of all time.
Seriously.
Wow.
It's
just the perfect summer blockbuster. I talked about this earlier with Something About Mary. You saw this movie because everyone was talking about it. You have to see this movie. You have to see it. It was just word of mouth. And that's how movies spread back then. And it's almost like more of a credit to it than any movie that comes out nowadays, because any movie that comes out now has $100 million marketing budget.
Yeah.
Jaws had a $7 million total budget. They made this movie and marketed it for $7 million.
And it was filmed here, no?
I think so. A lot of it.
Montauk, right? Which is crazy. And then the Jaws ride at Universal. Have you ever gone on it?
As a matter of fact.
Scary as hell. It's so much fun.
Much fun.
I was 8. I was 8 years old.
I was about the same too.
I was terrified, but I loved every minute of it. I actually recently watched Jaws 3D. God, it was awful.
I have not watched any of the sequels.
Really?
Maybe I will.
I feel like you should, just because they are that bad.
I'm kind of in a horror mood right now.
I've been in a horror mood too. I mean, Jaws 2 I think is decent. Like, it's not nearly as good as 1, but since it still has Roy Schneider in it, right? That's his name?
Yeah. He's in it?
He's in it, yeah.
I love Roy Schneider.
Yeah, and then 3D is like Dennis Quaid at like this water park, and like there's a great white that they capture, and then the great white's mother gets into the park.
Of course.
And like starts to kill everyone.
It's just when did they go to space?
They haven't gone to space yet, but then Jaws 4, the Revenge, is somehow one of the shark's family members from the first movie tracks down the Brodies. How a shark can do that is beyond me, but I mean, listen.
How do they prove that it's related to the original Jaws in the movie? Do they show the birth certificate?
I don't know. I haven't watched the movie in a very long time, but if I remember correctly, I liked Jaws 4 the most after the first one. But again, I watched that probably when I was 9.
In any horror series, there's a point where like the original like vibe wears itself out, and then it kind of flips where it just becomes like self-referential and just a parody of itself, and then it gets fun again. Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like 4 is like
and then they've never done one since, which I'm kind of surprised at by now.
Well, I guess Sharknado kind of took it over.
Sharknado, yeah, those two are like, that is like meant to be a parody.
Yeah.
Like, that's meant to be, look at how terrible, like, we're going to make this as bad as we possibly can, but it's still somehow decent. That has a really high rating online, shockingly enough.
Not critical score, but
No, it is.
All right. I've never seen any of them.
I mean, I think they made, at this point, 6 of them, which is insane.
All right. Well, we'll have to do a Sharknado episode for the podcast at some point.
I looked up the gross. So Jaws, adjusted for inflation, is $1,172,000,000, which is insane. Figure that's only about $200 million less than what Barbie made.
I was just gonna say it's nipping at the heels of Barbie.
And this is
imagine a Jaws Barbie crossover. That's the first $2 billion movie.
That'd be so meta.
Let's start writing it.
I think Avengers Endgame grossed over $2 billion.
First $3 billion movie.
Okay. I mean, listen, you know what?
It's just sitting there.
It's sitting there, just waiting for it to be made. I'll call up someone that I know and we'll get this going.
And Greta.
Haven't worked with them yet. Sorry.
So what's your horror pick?
So I was struggling like a lot with this. So I picked The Conjuring, directed by James Wan. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have. This is the Amityville Horror sort of remake, right?
No.
Well, they go to the Amityville
in the second one.
Oh,
this
okay.
follows Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are like the paranormal investigators, and they go to a house in, I think, like Maine or Rhode Island. Shout out Alex. Yeah. And it came out in the middle of the summer, so it's just like, and it made a lot of money. So I was like, summer, Blockbuster, whatever. But it doesn't give me like summer vibes, like, at all. But like,
it did come out in the summer though.
Yeah, because that's why I was like, a lot of horror movies come out more towards the fall. But Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play like Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it is, in my opinion, it is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I think like the creepiness factor mixed in with the jump scares, they just did such a good balance of it. And James Wan is just known for producing and for directing really like high budget, high quality horror movies. I mean, he's done Insidious. He started the Conjuring franchise. He's done all 3 of those movies. He's done a couple of the spin-offs. He did Saw, like originally, I think. Mm-hmm. It was tough for me to pick one, but I feel like since it was in the summer and it did so well, even though it not being a very like summery movie, and it spawned such an impressive franchise, just kind of like alludes to like how good it is.
Yeah, I think this is a great movie to slot in for your summer, your horror.
Because it was going to be Jaws. Because I mean, Jaws really can never be topped. But I was just like,
you chose Barbie, I chose Jaws. We got to pick one that's the obvious.
You have to pick one. Yeah, and I feel like that was just because I love that movie so much.
Yeah. It's funny that you picked The Conjuring. I do have a piece of trivia about this.
Oh, yeah.
So The Conjuring came out in 2013, which happens to be the highest grossing summer blockbuster movie of all time.
Maybe it's because of the
The Conjuring was in the top 10 films that came out that year.
Wow.
Highest grossing. Do you want to guess what number 1 was?
Iron Man 3.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yeah. It's almost all sequels. Iron Man 3, Despicable Me 2, Man of Steel, which is a remake, sort of. Or was that the sequel? I forget.
No, Man of Steel was the original, which like in the new one.
Monsters U, sequel to Monsters Incorporated. Star Trek Into Darkness, Fast and Furious 6, World War Z.
World War Z. Why didn't I pick that for one of them?
I don't know.
That's a good horror
research.
movie. That's a good horror movie. No, I don't. Did that come out in the summer? I don't know.
I don't know either.
That movie's great.
The Heat, Great Gatsby, and then The Conjuring.
Great Gatsby too. Wow, that came out in the summer. That I know. That movie's
2013.
Goated.
I don't have the exact number. I think it was like 4.79 billion or something.
What a great year for movies. I mean, that's a very wide spectrum.
Not according to that list I just said out loud.
I like most of those movies.
Well, that's why.
It's because you're a snob.
Yeah. Any more notes on your on The Conjuring?
No,
I did like The Conjuring.
Have you seen any of the spin-offs or the sequels?
I don't think so. What is that? Annabelle?
Annabelle. Yeah.
I definitely didn't see any of the.
Annabelle's really scary. It's like a prequel and a sequel to the Conjuring.
Yeah. They show Annabelle in
that's
Conjuring.
The opening scene is with her. And then they made Annabelle like 2 and 3. And the Annabelle 2 was a prequel to Annabelle 1, which is a prequel to the Conjuring.
Oh my god.
It's very meta.
The Conjureverse.
It is. That's what it's called.
Is it really? I thought it was being clever.
I mean, maybe it's not, but I feel I'm gonna start calling it that now.
All right. It's been coined here on Between the Shelves.
Yes.
All right. Last category: action.
Ooh,
epics.
Saving the best for last.
Yeah. This one.
You already know what I have, but
I know what you chose.
Yeah,
I want to say before we move on, my other horror considerations I had. Was my favorite movie of all time, Alien.
Oh, yeah.
June 22nd, 1979. Yeah. The only reason I didn't choose it is because Alien would not have been made if not for Jaws. So I feel like in a tip of the cap to Jaws, I had to honor the great Jaws. And then the other one that came to mind was The Sixth Sense.
Oh, yeah.
August 1999.
August, wow.
Yeah, late in the summer. It was it gave me more fall vibes than
for
summer.
Sure. Yeah. But incredible movie.
But another movie that, everyone was talking about. Like, you just word of mouth. And I did see this one in theaters and scared me to death.
That was what, 99 you said?
I was 10. Okay.
Wait, so you were born in 1989? What's your birthday?
April.
I was going to say you could have been born on the same day as Miss Taylor Swift.
Nope.
Every time I do a podcast, I have to bring her into it somehow.
I'm surprised you didn't fit her into this blockbuster movie.
The Eras tour is in October. I mean, the concert was filmed though in August.
Too late.
But yeah.
All right. So the last category is action epics. So these are your money makers right here. If you're studio, this is what you're investing all your money in because you're going to get your biggest return. My choice was. Again, I went with the more obvious one, but I don't think it's the one you chose. I chose Jurassic Park, June 11th, 1993.
Solid pick.
I could have the first ones that came to mind, Star Wars. These are they were all the highest grossing movies of the years they came out, with the exception of Attack of the Clones, I think. But anyways, Star Wars definitely came to mind. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Die Hard, Saving Private Ryan, The Matrix, all of these movies came to mind. But Jurassic Park I chose because, I'm getting ahead of myself. Jurassic Park came out, again, 1993. It stars Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Richard Attenborough, Samuel L. Jackson. The list goes on and on and on. This is
Samuel L. Jackson, really?
Yep, he did have
I did not know
a smaller role. He was one of the scientists who was...
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, the movie grossed $978 million for 1993.
Whoa.
It was a smash hit. It is, if you're not familiar, you should be at this point. It's about a wealthy businessman fulfilling his lifelong dream of creating a theme park populated by dinosaurs brought back to life through genetic engineering. He invites a paleontologist, a botanist, and a mathematician to tour the park and vouch for its safety, but their dream vacation turns into a thrilling fight for survival when the park's security systems fail and the dinosaurs run wild. I could have probably slotted this into the horror genre, I guess. It kind of it does have some scary moments, but I think this is more of an action.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It had groundbreaking CGI at the time by Industrial Light and Magic. It was the most realistic computer-generated thing I'd ever seen up until this point. Most people had ever seen,
and it still looks incredible.
It still looks good till today. I don't know. It's just a timeless movie. You know, everyone likes dinosaurs. It's got everything. It's got action. It's got horror. It's got drama. It's got A-list actors just acting their pants off.
Acting their pants off.
Yeah, it's just what a movie. Yeah. What is there more to say?
You know, it spawned a very questionable franchise. Most notably with Jurassic World Dominion being one of the.
Is that the third one?
No, this is the most recent Jurassic World one, like where it was like the legacy sequel in quotes.
That movie was
godforsaken.
The worst.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yep, that was a
tragedy.
Nail in that coffin, unfortunately.
Because like you mix Laura Dern and Chris Pratt, you're like, all right, you know they're both great, but somehow they just totally missed them. But now they're making a seventh. And it's a new iteration of Jurassic Park. It's with Scarlett Johansson. I'm really surprised she's actually going to do that.
Sure. Anyone will do anything if you cut them a big enough check.
That's actually so true.
That's how they got Sam Neill and Laura Dern to come back for Dominion.
Yeah.
And sign on to one of the worst scripts ever.
Yeah,
was there even a dinosaur in that movie? All I remember is running away from crickets.
No, there was. The only scene I enjoyed was in Paris where it was like the raptors got out. And there was like a motorcycle raptor chase. It was so bad.
Anyways, Jurassic Park, the original 1993. That is the only one you need to watch. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
that is my action epic.
Very summary too.
To round out my choices.
Because you could totally see like if that was like a real thing, like you wanting to go there and see these dinosaurs like during your summer break. Like it sounds so cool, and then it just becomes such a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But solid pick, Alex.
That's my pick. What do you got?
I got, very shocking to you, Top Gun Maverick. I feel like you don't get more.
Not surprised.
I know. I feel like you don't get more summer blockbuster than Top Gun Maverick. I mean, we got Tom Cruise, Glenn Powell, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller. We have jets, we have explosions, we have attractive men in jets, we have attractive men playing football on the beach. I mean, we have men singing in the bar, we have men getting into arguments. It's obviously like a lot of men, but it's like the focus of like Americanism and like being like a patriot. I don't know, to me it's like such an Americanized movie.
Oh yeah,
but it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
It's propaganda, basically. But it's.
I mean, sure. I'm not gonna argue with that. I don't want to get like political.
Okay.
But I feel like it's, especially like we talked about this on the Oscar review crew. It kind of revived the box office because movies were not doing well, we're not making a lot of money, and this was the first movie to really like outdo its budget post-COVID.
Well, it was supposed to come out in 2020 and they pushed it back because of COVID.
Which it's like Tom Cruise was like, no, like this needs to be out on the big screen. And I feel like too, it like definitely created like a movie theater event as opposed to just going to a movie and just watching it and saying, oh yeah, that was good, that wasn't good. I feel like it's just such like a badass movie, and it's just like I can just watch it over and over again, and it always makes me think of like summertime.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you think of the movie itself, it definitely checks off all the boxes of a blockbuster. You know, the cast, the big sets, the spectacle. You know, it's everything you want in an epic movie.
And it draws on like if you were around and you saw the original Top Gun in like what 80, probably like 84, 85. Like it draws on that, so like it brings you right back to that world too.
Yeah, it had the whole Val Kilmer side story where it's like to pull on your heartstrings a little bit.
Exactly. So it kind of like ticks off like every box of like what you need for a movie to make a lot of money. And I feel like when you have Tom Cruise, he's just gonna bring in millions.
Yeah.
I mean, in this case, he brought in billions. I think
that's true.
Yeah, it's like one of the highest grossing action movies of like all time.
Easily. It's definitely crossed the billion mark.
No, it definitely has. The budget for it's probably crazy high because I could only imagine all the jets and all the training and everything went into it. But yeah, that is my pick for action.
So those are our choices. Those are our picks. Just to summarize, my choices were There's Something About Mary, When Harry Met Sally, Shrek, Jaws, and Jurassic Park. And your summer blockbusters are...
All right, we got Top Gun Maverick, Barbie, Grown Ups, Dirty Dancing, and The Conjuring.
That's it. That's your 2 watch list, people. Yes. If for some reason you haven't seen one of those movies, go out and do it. I'm going to have to watch Grown Ups at least.
Oh, Grown Ups is... Dude, I'm telling you, it's hilarious.
All right, I'll watch it. I promise.
It's so
I'll
good.
Watch it. So we're running a little bit over time. So do you want to quickly say any like hidden gems that you were...
Yeah, I'll just... A hidden gem for me is probably Super 8. It's produced by Spielberg, directed by J.J. Abrams. It's set during the 1970s. It follows a group of kids who are like trying to make an alien invasion movie on their Super 8 camera, and they're filming at a train stop one night, and the train derails, and there's this like giant train crash, and the camera like falls over, and it captures an alien like coming out of one of the crates of the train. And then in this town that they live in, all these weird things kind of like start to happen, and they don't understand like why it's happening or what's really going on. And then they get the film back, and they're like, all right, whatever happened that night, we're kind of like, we're like tied to it somehow. And it's just like, I feel like it's a pretty well-known movie, but then sometimes I feel like you either know it or you have no idea what it is. And it came out in June of 2011, but to me, it's not like a summery movie, even though it's like they're all like off from school and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like kids just doing kids things.
I remember it being a very summery kind of setting.
Yeah.
From when I saw it.
I guess it was like kids just doing kid stuff, but like it was just I feel like it's just one of those movies that's like not revered as like a summer blockbuster.
I think they were expecting it to be a huge hit.
Yeah.
And I don't remember it being living up to the hype.
I think like critically it did.
Yeah.
But commercially it did not. And I feel like maybe if Spielberg had actually directed it and like his name was a bigger draw on it, maybe it would have brought in more.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing his name all over the posters and stuff, even though he was the executive producer, I want to say.
It is a very Spielberg-esque film.
But J.J. Abrams was a household name at that point, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's hard to say why this one... This is a great pick. I didn't think of this one.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of my all-time favorites. What about you? You have one?
I had a couple, but I'll just for time's sake. I had ones that were all box office flops that I am surprised they were box office flops.
Of course.
The first is The Iron Giant.
Never seen it.
Animated film. That came out in 1999. It only made $23 million in the box office on a $50 million budget. It made all of its money down the line with home video rentals. It became actually a huge hit with video, like Disney, whatever, the VHS, whatever they were calling it. So it eventually made a profit in the end, but it was not a success at all. It was a flop in the box office, but it's one of the best animated movies of all time. You should absolutely see it.
All right.
Another one that came out just 3 days later is Mystery Men. Have you seen Mystery Men?
I've never even heard of that.
Mystery Men is a superhero parody movie. That is one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. It is so funny. Ben Stiller leads a star-studded cast. Greg Kinnear is the
Love him.
Is the villain or one of the villains. Not to spoil too much, but it has like a star-studded cast. Like everyone is in this one.
Sweet.
It only made $33 million in the box office on like a $60 million budget. It was a flop, but it's hilarious. It's a great summer blockbuster movie. Big budget, big sets, big laughs.
I'm gonna add this to my watch list right now.
You got to see it. It's very like Tim Burton-y, I would describe. So that's why I think
like it.
Yeah. And then my last one is this one was a bit of a success, but it took a while for American audiences to catch on to it, I think. It's The Fifth Element, the big Bruce Willis action sci-fi movie. So this made its money in the U.S. It made $60 million in the box office here, but internationally it made $200 million.
Wow.
So yeah, the director is French, I think. So I think he was like a known name in France. Okay. I think that's where it caught on and then blew up from there. But it's just a great action movie. Lots of laughs. Chris Tucker plays like Bruce Willis's sidekick. He's hilarious. Okay. It's just got everything that you want in a blockbuster. It's got explosions, guns, aliens, laughs. It's great.
Oh, cool. All right.
So those are our those are my hidden gem picks.
Solid picks.
Yeah. So I promised a little bit of trivia. I know we're running short on time here, so I'm gonna get this out real quick. So there are some movies that we haven't really talked that much about that are a big part of summer blockbusters, and that is superhero movies.
Yes.
So according to Box Office Mojo, which I referenced earlier, they track box office stats going back to 1975. So since 1975, how many superhero movies with superheroes were the number one box office movie
like of that
year that summer?
I mean, the Avengers 2012, so I'd probably say 10.
Close. 13.
Wow.
There were 6 Marvel movies, 6 DC movies, and one Disney superhero movie, The Incredibles. 2, to be precise, was the number one movie.
Wouldn't count. Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, cool.
13 superhero movies were the number one movie. Yeah, blockbuster. Horror. There were 3 horror movies that were the number one summer blockbuster. Jaws, already mentioned. The Omen, and Amityville Horror, the original.
Oh, cool. All right.
There was only one romance movie that was the summer blockbuster. That was Ghost.
I really want to watch Ghost. Like the 90, 91?
Yeah, right around there.
I actually have it out right now.
Do you?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
I've heard
Swayze as well?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go on a Swayze binge this.
Everyone's been telling me to watch them.
And there were only 3 musicals that reached the number one spot. Grease was the original, and then both Lion Kings, the original and remake.
I would never think of that.
Yeah, if you consider that a musical.
I mean, I think it is.
I did.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, here's another piece of trivia. So, of the blockbusters in the last 49 years, rather, how many of them were adapted from other media versus original movies?
I'm going to guess 15 adapted.
Close. It was 19 have been adapted from previous things like comic books, things like that. If you include sequels, so adaptations and sequels, how much do you think it goes to?
Oh, God, probably like 25.
39.
Holy crap.
Or 34, sorry. Still.
That's a lot.
34 of 49 have been either a sequel or adapted from something else.
Wow.
So some of the biggest box office flops of all time, The Lone Ranger by Disney. I think that's way up there. Battlefield Earth, have you ever seen that?
No.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
Gigli with...
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, it's Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. Yeah.
Of course.
Terrible movie. And then Adventures of Pluto Nash. Have you heard of this? It's an Eddie Murphy action comedy.
No.
That had a huge budget and was
tanked.
Abominable.
Really?
Very
God,
bad.
it was that bad?
Yeah.
Jeez, I probably wouldn't even watch it.
So definitely avoid those. Unless you want to hate on something.
Yeah, okay.
Something.
All right.
All right, so I think we've covered summer blockbusters.
Yeah, we've definitely gone through a lot.
That was a lot of fun.
It was. Thanks, Alex.
Those are all great movies. Yeah, thanks for coming, and thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time between the shelves.